But one name that firmly belongs there, if you're looking at their strongest lineup, has to be Cole Palmer. His numbers, just astronomical since the start of last season, since he became a regular in a Premier League side, since he joined from City. He's been involved in 45 goals in 45 games. That's more than any other player in the Premier League. That's one more than Haaland and Salah, who both sit on 44. And we praise those players. I mean, it is just jaw-dropping at times when you think of the impact he's had for this side. But our team's getting a little bit wise to him now, Kit.
I think everyone's well aware of his ability, for sure. He's a fantastic player. I mean, Arsenal, going back to that game a little while back, they did a very good job on him, and he had an opportunity very early in the game, and other than that, they very much stifled his creative play. But he's so important to Chelsea. We're speaking about the runners in behind, but it's only worthwhile having those runners if you get fed, and he's the one that can feed the bear, so to speak. His delivery is brilliant, and he sees attempts and can actually execute passes a lot of other players don't even see. So his delivery to those boys running in behind is incredible. I mean, I think he's had 28 created 28 chances in the Premier League in open play, the most of any player in the Premier League this season. So his creativity is brilliant. But like I say, this Arsenal game, they did do a very, very good job on him by doubling up and made life very difficult for him.
Let's ask the defender, Gary. Stopping Cole Palmer, doubling up. And the flip side is it does create space for one or two other players.
Well, yeah, you know, one of the reasons that you want your goalkeeper to be competent on the ball, because it gives you an additional outfield player as such. So actually, if you put two players to mark Cole Palmer, you know, you do have a surplus somewhere else on the park. But it's how you do that. And again, you know, he's for such a young player. Cole Palmer is so astute with his decision making that he's happy to be patient and keep the ball and go backwards or sideways and get it again, and wait and be patient for the moment that his brilliance can really make a difference in a game. You know, there's a for and against for man marking a player, and I'm not sure that Cole Palmer on top of his game can be particularly man marked. I think it's very difficult to take him out of the game completely.
But in this period, we've seen other players really come good effectively, Sharpie. Enzo Fernandez has been, well, he's been clocking up a few assists in the last few weeks. But what about Nicholas Jackson? Can I ask you this? Is he a good striker? I got some numbers. He had only scored 10 in his first 30 games. Now, in the 17-game period since that, he's got 11 goals. If including assists, that's 4 there. So that's 15 goal involvements in his last 17 league games.
And those stats are not bad, are they? And I think we seem to have this conversation every time Chelsea play, don't we? Is Jackson a good player, and is he at the standard Chelsea are looking for? I think the question's out as to whether he's a natural goal scorer. I think he came into the game late, so he's probably still a little bit raw. But his numbers stack up. He's scoring goals, he's creating chances. I think he understands how Chelsea play. I think he likes to play on the shoulder. He's got a bit of pace. And I just think he'll keep getting better. I think the more he plays, the more efficient he'll become. What
does he need to work on, in your opinion, so that we don't have this conversation every week where we can definitively say that he is a good striker, he's an elite-level striker?
Well, as an out-and-out number 9, I think finishing. I think if he can finish half chances, the amount of chances that Chelsea create in 90 minutes, I think just his poaching instincts and his sort of reading of where the ball's going to drop in the box.
I mean, just on that, this season he's improved dramatically from last season. His shot conversion last season was 31%. It's 58% now this season, which is a huge increase. So I think he's like maturing as a player, and he's developing. He's becoming more clinical, which is what you need from his strikers. You know, because his pace, he'll always get chances, but last season he was wasting some big chances. This season he's like it's almost double his shot conversion rate.
And Kit, what about his kind of on-field manners? And you know, he tends to ruffle the referees a little bit. He's chipping away all the time, isn't he?
He does. He's constantly on other players and the referee, and so I think it's just maturing. I think he's slowly starting to improve with that side of it, because he's almost a booking waiting to happen in the majority of games, and most of it is for just petulant stuff, really. Which he can stamp out of his game, but he needs to, like I say, I think he's starting to mature, and he's showing signs of that now. He needs that side of his game to mature a lot as well, I think. Yep.